Catholics woke up this past Wednesday morning to the exciting news that Pope Francis had named Washington, D.C. priest Father William Byrne to be the 10th Bishop of Springfield. The bishop-elect was introduced at a Wednesday morning press conference. Carolee McGrath has our story.
On October 2nd this year, I received a call from Archbishop Christophe Pierre, which indeed is life-changing.
Bishop-elect William Byrne stood humbly before television cameras and reporters as he was introduced as the 10th bishop of the Diocese of Springfield, named by Pope Francis. The announcement was made by Archbishop Christophe Pierre, the U.S. papal nuncio. The bishop-elect joked how he almost didn't believe it when he got the call.
October 2nd is the feast of the guardian angels. And I thought to myself, the Holy Father's naming me a bishop? My guardian angel must be asleep right now. Until I realized that guardian angels don't sleep. That's a theological point. So in fact, what I was receiving was a profound gift of not just being a bishop, but being a bishop here in Western Massachusetts.
Bishop-elect Byrne, who celebrated the 1210 Mass at St. Michael's Cathedral on Thursday, is a native of Washington, D.C. He's the youngest of 8 children of Mary Byrne and the late Dr. William Byrne. He thanked his mother and father for joyfully passing on the faith. He attended the College of Holy Cross in Worcester. He then taught for 3 years in Catholic schools before entering the seminary. He was ordained as a priest in the Archdiocese of Washington in 1994.
I'm a priest. For over 26 years, I have loved every minute of my priesthood. In moments both heartwarming and heartbreaking, I have found great and profound consolation in bringing Christ to my brothers and sisters.
Bishop-elect Byrne has been the pastor of Our Lady of Mercy Parish in Potomac since 2015. He also served as the chaplain for the University of Maryland's Catholic Student Center in College Park. The bishop-elect, who met with diocesan employees and toured his new residence, assumes the position left vacant when Bishop Mitchell Rosansky was installed as the Archbishop of St. Louis in August. Since then, Worcester Bishop Robert McManus has been serving as the apostolic administrator of the Diocese of Springfield.
But one of his priestly assignments that caught my attention, and I think is particularly noteworthy, is that for 6 years the bishop-elect was the Catholic chaplain at the University of Maryland. And during that time there, 14 men entered the seminary and now are ordained priests, and 5 women entered religious life and are currently professed religious. In my own name and in the name of the Church, thank you, Bishop-elect Byrne, for your remarkable ministry.
Bishop-elect Byrne's ministry also includes his service on the board of directors of St. Anne's Infant and Maternity Home and the Catholic Youth Organization. In 2007, he gave the homily to 20,000 Catholic youth gathered at the Verizon Center for the annual Mass and Rally for Life, which each year precedes the annual March for Life in D.C. It's an issue near and dear to his whole family. His sister, Sister Dee Dee Byrne, a retired Army officer, a surgeon, and member of the Little Sisters of the Sacred Hearts of Jesus and Mary, spoke about the sanctity of life at the Republican National Convention in August.
The pro-life is fundamental to our vision of church and our belief in the dignity of the human person. If we don't respect life in the womb, then how can we expect it to be respected at any other stage in the existence of the human person? So that's the first building block of a whole defense of the dignity and the beauty of the human person.
This is 5 advice for guys only.
He's also a popular columnist and very comfortable in front of the camera. He's a YouTube personality with his series 5 Things, highlighting 5 life hacks, prayer starters, or spiritual meditations. The series is so popular that it's been developed into a book, 5 Things with Father Bill, released this week by Loyola Press.
It is an understatement to say that the church is living in challenging times.
In his opening remarks, he also addressed the sexual abuse scandal that has plagued the church across the country and in the diocese.
But some of our greatest challenges, however, come from within. The shameful history of abuse within the church represents a systematic failure to protect our most vulnerable members, especially our children. It must be acknowledged and atoned for continuously. Each day, we must recommit ourselves to doing the work, the ongoing work of making sure this can never, ever happen again.
This announcement certainly has been a bright spot in what has been a very difficult time. First of all, you've had the coronavirus pandemic, which has caused suffering and isolation for months. There has been social unrest since the killing of George Floyd, and we're also in the midst of a bitter presidential election. But Bishop-elect Byrne says we have every reason to be hopeful, and our hope is in Jesus.
I'm choosing as my motto in the Latin, in Spem Vivum, in a living hope, through the resurrection. Once that tomb was empty, then the whole victory was won. And now there's pushback from evil in the world and from the evil one, but Jesus Christ still is going to win the day. In this whole process, I remember kneeling down early on in the pandemic, and I was feeling low, and I was kneeling in my chapel in my parish, and I heard the voice of the Lord say, "I've got this." And He's got it. But we just have to trust in and believe in that. Our faith is based on this seeming irony. The cross is victory. I stand before you saying that this should not be a time of despair, but a time to believe. Hate loses, love wins, always. On Calvary from an empty tomb, Christ has won the victory already.
Reporting for Reel to Reel, I'm Carolee McGrath.
And Bishop-elect Byrne will be ordained and installed as our 10th bishop on December 14th. And you can read more about him online at iobserve.org.